What's up, Christ community? This is Pastor Tanner coming at you. Pastor Steve asked me to share briefly with you guys, and if you know me, you know I love to talk, and I'd like to keep this short, so we're just going to get straight into it. I want to tell a story about when I was in 7th grade, and I had just started middle school football. I had been looking forward to football for years, and I'm so excited to go out for it, and first day of practice, go through it, and I get done, and I'm just miserable. And my lungs hurt, my body hurts, I'm just sore and with muscles that I didn't even know I had. And I get home and I can remember with tears in my eyes, crying and pleading with my parents to let me quit football. And my parents were like, no, you started, you're going to finish this season. And I remember going back to the practice the second day thinking maybe it'll be different today. And same old, my lungs hurt, my body hurt, I'm even more sore than I was the day before. And this goes on for the first week, and I can remember getting back to that weekend and going back to my parents and asking, hey, is there any way you guys would let me quit? Like, I don't like this. I don't like it as much as I thought I would. And my parents stood their ground and then, no, you signed up for it, you're going to finish it. And I remember the second week of practice starting up, and all I could think of was, I really hope that this is different. I don't like this. And practice starts out, it's the same thing. And so just counting the minutes until practice is over, just miserable. And then all of a sudden, everything kind of shifts gears. Coach gets all excited and he yells out, train wrecks! I need a line going this way and a line going this way. And he explains the drill, and basically the person with the football has to get past the person without the football. And you start on your backs. And so I'm pumped, and I'm like, this is what I signed up for. And so I go running up first in line on the defense without the football and lay down on the ground. Coach blows the whistle. I get up and I hit the guy with the football real hard, take him down. Coach yells, great hit, all right, next in line, and he blows the whistle. And I can just remember that my adrenaline just spiked, and I just was pumped. And I get back to the line, everybody's cheering me on, and all I could remember thinking was like, this is what I signed up for. This is why I wanted to play football. These are the kind of drills. Why haven't we been doing this all along? And looking back, I can recognize now that the uncomfortability of the first week of practice was to get us in shape so that we wouldn't hurt ourselves when the time came to begin practicing the bigger things, the bigger drills. And now I've grown into a deep passion with football that has lasted many years. I just absolutely love the sport. And I don't think that would have happened if it wasn't for my parents who knew better, who knew what I was doing, knew what was going on during that first week of practice, and knew that I needed to just tough it out so that I could get to the bigger things, the things of the sport that I actually would enjoy. And sometimes that's the way our life is. We don't get to see the bigger picture of something. We just get caught up in the uncomfortability. And we're not able to see what the uncomfortability is producing in us. We're not able to see the fruit of the season of uncomfortability. Which reminds me of Philippians. That is the definition of Philippians in my opinion. And Philippians is my favorite book of the Bible, and for quite a few reasons. One of the reasons I love Philippians is because Paul wrote Philippians from a jail cell, and yet his topic is to encourage the church of Philippi to be filled with joy. Like, if that's not powerful, I don't know what is. That's huge, in my opinion. Another reason I like Philippians is because the church of Philippi was actually started with Paul and his friends Silas, Timothy, and Luke, and they preached to a group of women who were meeting outside the city near the river for prayer. If that's not outside of the norm of the time, I don't know what is. And then later on, Paul and Silas cast out a demon of a slave girl who's following them around, predicting the future. And then the owners of this slave girl get mad and throw him in jail. And then basically a giant earthquake comes to free them. And this is the surroundings of the start of the church of Philippi. That's crazy. And so you can begin to see in Philippians Paul's love and passion for the church in Philippi. Like, its start was crazy. And so I want to get started hopping into verse Philippians 1:21. It says, "For me to live is Christ, to die is gain." And then in chapter 4, it goes on to say, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus." And just keep in mind and remember, Paul's writing this from a jail cell. And so, my reason for coming to you today is just to remember, we don't always know the why. We don't always know the what, and we don't even know the growth that is occurring in a season of uncomfortability. And right now, our church, the church, is in a season of uncomfortability across the board. I've talked to a lot of pastors, and everybody's trying new things and doing new things, and then talking to individuals. If you're like me and an extrovert, you're going crazy right now. If you're an introvert, you're laughing at all of the extroverts because finally we know what you feel like when you have to go to a conference for a week or something like that. And so I want to try to keep a focus on what good is happening. And one of the goods that I can see happening during this season of uncomfortability is that almost overnight, all kinds of idols in American church has fallen. Think about sports. Idol, it's fallen. The Las Vegas Strip, gambling, money, addiction, fallen. Prostitution, fallen. Even to money, job security, those kind of things. We aren't sure what's going on, and so our source of our foundation has to be built in Christ in this time, because if it's not, the uncomfortability will just destroy us. And so right now we have this season where these social media giants, which in the past have inhibited and discouraged Christianity and faith, and now they are embracing it because they recognize the season that we're in. And I mean, I'm filming this from a tripod that Facebook sent me for free in order to help us to do live videos. Like, there's some crazy things happen, and there's some good things, and I want to try to keep my focus on those good things. And so today I want to encourage you, above all else, that in the next coming weeks, months, whatever it may look like, I want to challenge you to face it with joy. Just as Paul was encouraging the church of Philippi, and as Paul is trying to remember while he's in jail, to think about the things that are good. Think about the good things in life. Whatever is noble, whatever is great, whatever is good, think of those things rather than the issues, and be filled with joy, because we have joy in Christ. Because we know that God is up to something epic. He wouldn't allow something this huge to affect the world and not be working it towards His good. And so we as Christians can be encouraged because we know God is up to something, and we get to be a part of it. And so I pray that you're blessed. And as Paul wrote to the Philippians, I'm video calling, whatever, videoing it to you and encouraging you. Be filled with joy this week. Love you guys. Miss you guys. Can't wait till we can see face to face. And I hope you have a good week.